What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gershwan.
And today we're back at it. How do you say it like that? It kind of hurts.
I don't know. My throat is kind of weird, anyways.
Yeah, aren't we all? But anyway, today we're back at it, answering your questions in another episode of For the Greater. That's a good one for your throat.
Yeah, this is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Shinku Kirito Ichika did. He asks, what if the Thousand Sons didn't turn traitor? What if Magnus didn't try to contact the Emperor that damaged the Webway? And how do you see the Thousand Sons fighting on the side of the Loyalist and ever onward up until the Ultima founding?
That's a very interesting question because first and foremost, we have to put it out there that the Thousand Sons, like most people know, are psychers. And psychers were kind of looked down upon, so much so that they added a whole new space marine to kind of look after them, and that was the chaplains. Yeah. So if they still remained loyalist, would they still be able to use their psychic powers? Or would they uphold 100% to the, the edict of, or the
Council of Nicaea.
There you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do think that if the Emperor or the Thousand Sons stayed loyalist, they would definitely use their psychic powers. I think they would even be somehow connected to the Grey Knights.
Okay. It was like a supplemental force to them.
Yeah, because that's what happened. That's the reason the Grey Knights were created, right? Mm-hmm. The Emperor realized, like, oh shit, I messed up.
Yeah.
We really need psychic powers because all these chaos worshippers are now using the warp and they're using all these psychic powers. We need to fight fire with fire.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. Because that's all that the Grey Knights are all about. Using their psychic abilities to hunt the demons of chaos.
Yeah. I don't know if they would be actual demon hunters, though, because I think the Thousand Sons differ from the Grey Knights in that the Grey Knights are truly like exorcists. They are out there trying to destroy them, whereas the Thousand Sons have that curiosity in their gene seed that makes them want to go out and like figure out exactly how the warp works, what type of, what cultures worship what and all that kind of stuff.
It's that search for knowledge that kind of drives them.
Yeah. Also, I do believe that the Thousand Sons, obviously, if they didn't turn traitor, their libraries wouldn't be burned.
Right.
Magnus had like a huge collection of just like different sorcerers' tomes, data slates, and just a bunch of relics and stuff. And I feel that the Imperium would create out of that library that Magnus had something that would rival that of the Black Library within the Webway. For all those that don't know, the Black Library is like a repository of just all the Eldar's knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah, since ancient times.
Yeah, so I think the Thousand Sons, specifically Magnus and Prospero, would become like a new age version of the Black Library. And obviously the benefits to that are monumental because most Imperial like big plot points usually either connect or lead to the Black Library. When what's his name? Gilliman came back, it was Cypher who entered the Black Library, I believe, or something like that. And then the Thousand Sons did the same thing, trying to invade, and the Harlequins had to fight, and then that's how they got connected to Gilliman.
Right. Ennead was in there too. Sagara is running about in there.
Yeah. It would be like a whole new just like two people, or like two superpowers basically.
Right. Do you think that having Magnus on the loyalist side would have shifted the events of the heresy?
Yeah. Even though Magnus the Red didn't really do much. Like he destroyed, well, I guess we should talk about, we'll talk about that next. But like Magnus the Red actually didn't like hurt the Imperium that much during the Horus Heresy.
Right, because he was kind of refocusing on like his world that got sucked into the warp and became the planet of the sorcerers.
Yeah, I mean he definitely played a part, and he played a big part in the beginning, but like he wasn't as devastating as like the Black Legion. Or
I mean, when your back's broken, it's kind of hard.
He bounced and broke his back.
Yeah, and then he bounced back and broke nothing else because he hasn't really done much.
Well, I mean, he fought that one dude. on Fenris when they were trying to take the gene seed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he actually did. He succeeded.
He killed him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Don't read books.
Yeah, don't ever, or don't watch us. Either way.
Spoiler alert afterwards, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
yeah, because then we move on to like, if we're done with that part,
right?
Well, then we move on to the fact that if Magnus wouldn't have turned traitor and he wouldn't have broken the seals
For the Emperors.
Webway project, then the Emperor would have continued his Webway project.
I feel like there would have been something else to make him stop the Webway. I don't think the Webway was ever meant to be completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But even now, do you think that Belisarius' call would have still created the Primaris and revived Guilliman if Magnus stayed alive and well during all this time?
Yeah, the Primaris would still be a thing for sure. Yeah.
Do you think Magnus would kind of like steer the Imperium one way or another, or no?
Oh, that's another thing too, because
'Cause obviously all the loyalists were either like dead or went out somewhere. Would Magnus stay, or would he also be like, you know what, I'm gonna go find some more knowledge?
I honestly think that Magnus would sit on the Golden Throne. Like it's one of those weird situations where, like the purpose of Magnus was to sit on the Golden Throne. When he turned traitor, then there was nobody to sit there. So it's like the Emperor. Not only was he in pain and close to dying, but now he had to like sit there to control the Astronomicon, which is part of the reason why he's in that shitty state and he can't really regenerate.
Right.
Because on top of the fact that it's a life support, he's also using his psychic might constantly to keep the Astronomicon going. So then if you substitute the Emperor for Magnus and you let the Emperor heal, because he has that ability, he's a perpetual, then all of a sudden you don't really have a corpse Emperor. You have a true Emperor. Flesh
and blood Emperor.
Yeah, so then it becomes not even a 40K like we know it. It's an Imperial Truth 40K. It's a continuation of the Great Crusade 40K type of situation.
That'd be vastly different. Yeah, I don't even think about that till now.
It would still be really grimdark though.
Yeah,
because it's not like the Horse or the Great Crusade wasn't.
Well, true. But I think like even like because now it seems very hopeless. Like when you look at their gods, it's like, oh, he's a dying corpse on a throne.
Right.
But now you could say like, no, our god is actually out there and fighting. Well, he wouldn't be a god. Yeah. Our leader is actually out there in his shiny gold armor fighting alongside us.
Yeah. It would kind of suck because, Games Workshop would give him, like, weird stats.
Yeah. Don't even give him stats. He's just a centerpiece.
Because that's what they do in D&D. Like, D&D says that they don't give stats to, like, the higher powers. Like not demigods, but, like, actual gods. They just don't give them stats. Right. So I wonder if they would do that to the Emperor.
Well, I mean, we're going to find out with what happens with the Silent King.
Oh, yeah, the Silent King.
Well, I guess by this time we would have already known.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
What is this? Past selves ask our future selves?
What do you guys think?
What do you guys know?
Yeah. Comment down in the comment section below.
That's right. Very good question. It's a doozy.
Provoking.
Yeah. This one is by Demandea la Bird. His question is, what is mankind going to do once the navigator houses die out? There is a lot of genetic defects from so many millennia of inbreeding. So, can navigators have kids with regular humans to add a variety to the gene pool?
Well, I think it's like what happened to the royals nowadays. Like, that's why that one prince in the UK married that one chick from California. What was her name?
Bridget B.
Yeah, Bridget B. But yeah, so you just stop inbreeding.
Yeah.
Eventually, like, you're going to have those defects, but, I mean, that's life.
Right. What more can you say?
Yeah, I mean, navigators do pop up.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a...
What is it like a dominant gene or a recessive gene?
It's probably a recessive gene, yeah.
And you got to pair up the alleles and do the Punnett squares.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that always reminds me of guinea pigs.
And it's not like the Games Workshop or the Imperium of Man is a stranger to that. They do it for the Deathcore
Games Workshop not a stranger to inbreeding.
Yeah. You should see the Warhammer TV videos. No, but
yeah, the Imperium does that a lot. I'm pretty sure, especially with like the High Lords trying to keep it all within the same bloodline.
Yeah.
The nobles of Ultramar, don't they do that too?
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Nobles.
And Theo does it after we tell him no and no.
Yeah.
But hey.
Keeps doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. I have one from Daniel Reyes.
Reyes? Daniel?
Is there any good books from an Imperial Guardsman perspective? Yes, the...
Gaunt's Ghosts.
Yeah. So check that out. I've never actually read them. Have you?
I started, I bought some, but I'm like, I could either be painting and, doing stuff, or I could be reading, and I just never really picked it up.
I guess that's the struggle. If you are into... that, there are so many aspects of 40K, the hobby, that sometimes you think two things would mesh really well, but they don't.
Right.
Kind of if you're really into painting, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be good at the tabletop.
Right.
If you're really good if you're really into the lore like we are, it doesn't mean that we read all the books.
Which it probably supplements even more. If you really like Gaunt,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're gonna love this book. As much as because my favorite character is Farsight, and there's tons of books and things in the codex for his lore that I'm just wow, I should really read this sometime. But then it's I'd rather be painting or making videos or
yeah, the other things draw you away from it. Also, the big problem with books is that I've talked about this before. They're so detailed that sometimes you're just kind of I get it. I don't.
Yeah, it's I never really wanted to know that Gaskell actually has 4 wrinkles on his forehead.
Exactly.
Not 5.
All I wanted to know is get the what was the thing that we used to use in high school? Sparkle notes.
Yeah, just the bullet points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't read Romeo and Juliet. Watch the movie.
That's what the codex is for.
Yeah, because the codices, there's a whole section, the timeline of it, that just gives you a quick 1-2 sentence blurb as to what's going on.
Yeah, and it's perfect for reading while you're on the can, which is how I do it.
Yeah, that's why you need to buy those old codices from 2nd edition, 3rd edition, to read up on all the little lore snippets.
Don't keep them in your bathroom though.
It gets moist.
It's moist.
And then you get mold and little Gretchens start popping up.
Unless you're a savage and you take cold showers.
Ooh, you guys must be savages to do that.
Next question.
This one is by Arik Taranis. Will the Thunder Warriors return when the Emperor returns? Nah. They're pretty much all gone. There is a small force, I guess you can say, of Thunder Warriors that are being kept in
stasis.
Yeah. What is it, Trazian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His vaults are interesting because they kind of remind me. If you guys have ever been to the Brookfield Zoo, the reptile section has these little. It's like a little house. You go into this little house, and then they just have probably a little fish tank size thing, and it just has a bunch of weird reptiles. And you just go one by one, and they're never moving.
I know what you're talking about.
And I feel that's what the vaults of Trazen are. You go and you look, and it's a snapshot of a battle, but they're not really moving. Mm-hmm. They're alive, obviously, because it's a zoo, but they're not moving.
Yeah, I was thinking of was it Benicio del Toro's character in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But those were actually moving though.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Wait, did we answer his question?
Oh no, I don't think they're coming back with the Emperor because he killed them all.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That was the whole point of the was it the Space Marines to off the Thunder Warriors? Well, the Thunder Warriors were used to off the Warlords of Terra, and then they were offed by the Space Marines
in a sacrificial last stand. Mm-hmm. And then towards the end, I think they were on a mountain, and then the Emperor was exterminatus.
Yeah, execute Order 66.
Next question. I have one from Peter Main.
Main?
Is there any way GW can bring the Emperor to the tabletop without him being practically invincible? Well, the Sound Alchemist was saying, we'll find out when the Silent King comes back.
Right. Because as strong as the Silent King and Primarchs are, the Emperor is supposed to be this being above them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's ever going to be present in the lore. because for two, or not in the lore, in the tabletop for two things. One, if you make him actually overpowered, he's going to be really expensive point-wise, and that's going to diminish the rest of your list. Like, say he is like, he's probably going to be around like 600 points, and that could be half your whole list. If you're playing like 1250 or 1500, like, that's a huge chunk to splurge on one character. And as good as he is, there's no way he can actually make up his points in a game, realistically speaking. So that is going to cut on sales, and people won't really buy him. But on the other side, if you make him too weak, then people aren't going to play him because it's like, the Emperor should be doing more than this on the battlefield. Like, I want to feel like I'm actually using the Emperor in the lore on the battlefield, and that's also going to cut in. Either way, it's a really, really hard thing to balance, because no matter what, there's always ways to, like, complain about things.
Yeah, it's kind of what happened to Gilliman.
Yeah.
I think, like, Gilliman is underwhelming on the tabletop, but we'll see.
You're right. But hey, I mean, he's a cool centerpiece model.
Next question comes from Jomel Apostle. How is the old ones compared to the Chaos Gods? I think they're weaker. The old ones must be weaker because the Chaos Gods weren't around when the old ones were around. Yes, they were able to build a webway, but they were also building the webway when the environment wasn't as chaotic. It's kind of like when you look at sports. The big champions of the past, yes, they have like tremendous skills, but they had tremendous skills for that time. If you plop them into like today's sports, they're probably not going to do so great.
Dang, so you're saying Jordan can't take on LeBron?
LeBron James? No, I don't think so. Like in an actual like match?
Like a one-on-one.
Well, a one-on-one, who knows?
That's different.
Yeah. But like a...
Because like, you also got to think of the team and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they just play completely different. Because I feel like if you throw somebody from like UFC 1 or 2 to like a UFC nowadays, it's like, no, they're going to get their ass beat.
But hey, they didn't have weight classes back then.
Well, exactly. So like if you get the Gracie guy against like anybody nowadays.
Anderson Silva.
They already know that. Like they already know the Gracie style.
That's
true.
He's
He's still around and he doesn't participate or doesn't, fight. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I already forgot what we were talking about to begin with. The Chaos Gods and old ones.
Right.
Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Odin, God of Wisdom. So every loyal chapter tends to have a unique gene seed trait. What are the traits for the Traitor Legions? So the one that they all share is that they're able to turn traitor. Where most Space Marines are like almost blindly loyal, these guys are actually kind of prone to like question things and act out of line and that kind of thing. And that's kind of why they all kind of moved towards chaos.
Yep. And then when you get to like the regular traits, so like if we go down the list, so you have the World Eaters, they were all about like aggression.
Right.
Then you have the Emperor's Children, they were about perfection. Who else? Death Guard?
Death Guard. Well, they were the Warhounds, and they were kind of like desert fighters, but when Mortarion became the Primarch, or took the place of the Primarch, I don't know.
Attrition, kind of like attrition. They were just like, kill it with numbers.
Yeah.
Because I think the...
I was going to say, what about the, not the Iron Hands, the...
Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors, there you go.
They were more about siege experts. But also getting like the shitty tasks.
Oh yeah, building or like digging out trenches and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then who else?
Thousand Suns or the Psychers.
Yeah, magic, the aspect that we all know. What else? I think that's it. Oh, Lorgar, zealotry,
Devoutness.
Not just in just like religious aspects, but just like they were zealot in the imperial truth, and they were zealot in the belief in their goal.
Right. And what about the Luna Wolves?
The Luna Wolves were just perfection. Or no, I don't know.
They were perfect. They wouldn't have, well, not all of them turned.
I think they're like the reasonable Marines, which is, yeah, so as close to the reasonable Marines as you can get.
Semi-reasonable.
Yeah.
The aight Marines.
Exactly. And then is that it?
I feel like we're forgetting somebody.
Oh, Alpha Legion?
Oh, yeah. They're the
sneaky sneaks.
Yeah, the sneaky beakies. They're the good guys and the bad guys.
They're the double crossers, hence the 20 Roman numeral. Double crosses.
Oh, that's true. Damn. That just hit me. Like, wow.
Yep.
I've never noticed that. Wow.
And then I think that's it. Comment down below if we missed one.
Yeah. Comment down below if your mind is blown.
Oh, Night Lords.
Yeah. Guerrilla tactics. Shock and awe. Strike hard. Go back into the darkness.
Halloween Town.
And there you go. I used to watch that back on Disney.
Me too. I used to get a little scared.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit. This next question, and this I guess will be the last question, comes from The Outsider. How do the Space Marines go to the toilet? Do they actually have to go to the toilet? So my speculation is that they sweat out their waste.
That's nasty.
Not necessarily.
Because imagine if you're sweating out waste and you go to wipe your forehead and it's all brown.
Yeah. But, I mean, because, like, we do that with fat.
Yeah.
Sweat, well, and breath, right? So Space Marines probably just have really bad breath all the time.
But, I mean, they don't really need to eat, though.
No, but they still eat.
They still eat, yeah.
Yeah.
Just how, like, they still need to sleep a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And need a little bit of love and care.
But, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean... Because then you got to talk about their, like, genitals. Like, do they actually, like, pee?
I think they do. I think they have genitals.
If you guys know, let us know.
Yeah. They have catheters.
They just have a hole.
Yeah. They just it gets cut off. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. As you guys probably will notice, the schedule is a little different, but we'll get back on schedule pretty soon. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. If not, check out our backlog. I'm pretty sure you'll find something interesting.
For sure.
This has been the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
And we are out of here.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.